Hi, I'm Jamie Jensen. I teach at Spanish Fork High School. I'm an English teacher here, and I'm also the advisor for the National Honor Society. Well, you know, I think like a lot of teachers, it was the influence of other teachers that I really respected and admired, and certainly my love for English played a really big role for me, and I had some really wonderful English teachers that made me think I would like to do this, I would like to be involved with something that involves English, but I really like teaching. I like working with students. I started out thinking I wanted to be an elementary school teacher and realized I need to be able to talk to more adult type people, and so I found kind of my niche in teaching high school. It's where I'm comfortable. Yeah, this is only my second year doing NHS, and I will be honest with you, it was kind of thrust upon me. You know, the old advisor was retiring and they needed someone else, and they asked me if I'd be willing to do it, and I said sure, and I had a lot of trepidation about it. I was worried that it would take up a lot of my time. I didn't really know what I was doing and how I would do it, and I ended up having a really amazing experience last year. I knew that there were different components to National Honor Society, which include, first and foremost, I think for us, is service. And what I started to find out was we would plan these activities with NHS, and we'd have like social activities, kind of parties, and then we would have service activities. And it was so interesting that the students were not really showing up to the socials. You know, we'd get a handful of people and we'd think, oh, why are we doing this? But then we'd have these service activities and we would just get, 70, 80 kids that would come. And I started to realize something, that what at least the students at Spanish Fork High School are looking for are opportunities to serve and to do something for someone else. Mm-hmm. And that just became like kind of this aha, moment where I thought, this is why we're doing this. And then it kind of changed my attitude about it and how I felt about being the advisor and seeing how much these students wanted to give and what they were willing to do. And it just made me more excited about it. And then my officers and I started planning, let's do more service. This is what they want to do. This is what we should be looking for. And it became such a good experience last year that we have pretty much scheduled all of our activities this year around what can we do for our community, what can we do for our school, how can we serve. And it's been just an amazing thing. So this year now I come into it just so excited, so motivated to look for these things that we can do because of the students, because the NHS students that are involved with it.
That's awesome.
I think probably not so much the time, but the finding the time for the committees, the officers to meet, because everybody's so busy. So for us to actually plan things really well, it just seems everyone doesn't have enough time to do that. And so we're juggling my schedule with my officer schedules, with all the committee schedules, and trying to get that all worked out. So we'll have meetings and we'll have a list of maybe 5, 6 things to plan, and we'll get through one of them.
Oh, goodness.
And that's so frustrating, because I think then we're putting stuff off that could be planned for the last, that I don't want it planned at the last minute. And to me, that's really frustrating.
Yeah.
And being able to communicate with everyone, that's been a little bit hard.
Yeah.
But the best part is just working with the students, because honestly, it's all them. It's not me saying, hey, you guys, come on, we got to go do this stuff. It's all of them saying, hey, what can we do? We want to go help people. We want to, we're excited about planning this activity, this service project or activity, and they get excited about it, and they make me excited about it, and they're just, we have such great students here,
yeah,
that are so great about stuff like that are so concerned about others. That's the best part for me.
And what they do for the special ed kids too.
Yeah.
You hear about horrible stories at other schools, but like here, I feel like my mom wanted to transfer my brother to Maple Mountain, and I was like, no, he can't go there. They're not very nice. And I told her that he should come here, and they're working on the process to get him here instead of Maple Mountain. So
I'm really glad, because this is a community. I've not been in a school like this before, where the students are so welcoming, so just non-judging, want to help each other, and just want to make people feel like they're included. That you don't see that everywhere. It can be. I have kids, I have a family. Luckily, we try and do a lot of it during school. We have lunch meetings and early morning meetings, and that can be challenging too. But for the most part, the activities, the service we do require a lot of planning, but not a ton of time. Like we don't do like we'll do one every month or every couple months or something. So it's not like we're doing something every week or whatever. Just the planning time that gets tricky. And so, yeah, it is a struggle, but it's not as bad as you. That's the thing is people think, oh, it takes so much time. I just can't get involved with something like that. I just don't have the time to do that. And we realize we can do so much with even just a little bit of time because we have a lot of people. You know, it used to be the NHS, they would cut off at so many members. And I felt like if these are students who are meeting the requirements, certainly they have to meet the requirements for citizenship and academic and recommendation, from teachers. But I feel like if they're meeting those requirements, let's have them be in NHS. That's just one more person that can help out and do something. So then when we do these service projects, man, we do them so fast because we have so many people. And we realize, hey, in a couple of hours, we can do a lot of good.
Exactly.
So
that's awesome.
More the better. Well, I think it's the whole idea of being altruistic is that it's for someone else and not for yourself. But I think the reality of it is partly for you too because it makes you feel good. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're happier, you feel better, and so maybe that's not completely altruistic, but at the same time, having those sorts of good feelings that are motivating you to do something for someone else, I mean, that's just a win-win, right?
Yeah, it is.
So I think that's what it is, and I see the good we're doing, but I think for me as the advisor, the thing that makes me want to do it the most, that's the biggest reward for me, is seeing how it's changing my students and seeing how they're responding to it and how they're getting so excited about doing this and that they see how good it makes them feel and want to do more. And honestly, I mean, my officers this year are like, oh, last year we did this and now we just want to do more, and they're so excited about it, and I find that so rewarding to see that change, that they're growing and maturing and realizing, hey, this is what's important, is what we're doing for other people, how I'm looking to help someone else, and not just people who maybe need clothes or money or something like that, which is of course very important, but just around the school, what am I doing to help out someone who looks like maybe they're sad today or could use a friend, or maybe we could go to some convalescent homes and talk to some people, or sing carols. We've done that before, and it just makes them feel so good that they want to do it again. And I just think that's what it is too. If you realize that in high school that you can do these things, then when you go out and you become more independent, you're on your own, you realize, hey, this is what I value, and you realize how much more that you can actually do.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's the real thing, is that it usually doesn't come from me. It's usually always the students. And it's just one person saying, hey, I saw a need, or hey, what if we did this? And that because I think, again, that we have such an accepting community of students here, that no idea is just shot down as, oh, that's dumb or anything. And so I think we're able to do so much more because of that. And for me, I feel like I'm more just the facilitator than I am the instigator of ideas and activities, and that's been the greatest thing, is because the students want to do things, and so they are coming up with ideas and realizing that they can do this and make a difference with other people and figuring out themselves. Just saying, okay, now can our NHS group? I've had a ton of students come to me and say, hey, here's this thing going on, would the NHS be interested in? Kind of like what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, knowing that this is a group that will be involved with something like this, that wants to be involved with something like this. So that's been the coolest thing, is I haven't really had to do much as far as like, hey, let's come up with some ideas. They come with them. They're ready. They want to do these things. That makes it really fun, really exciting.